Here we go, first hit going to be coming in the CWL Esports semi-final, and we're going to be kicking off here with the number 4 from TD Perseverance, swinging in against Dell. We've got those E-Drags dropping the rage spells down first, and then those E-Drags coming in behind, dropping that Eternal Tome ability nice and early. King and Queen, drops the Queen before the King. So the Queen gets targeted by the Expo. We do have to drop a nice early free spell there, doesn't want to take any risks. Continuing to push on through. 2 more rage spells to be dropped in, but already we are seeing these sweepers have a little bit of an impact on the pathing of these E-Dragons. Super minions there in the middle of the base from those clan castles, most certainly doing some significant damage onto these E-Drags. We already are starting to fade out, and we're only just making it through the bottom section of the base. But as we know with E-Drags, all it takes is a couple of those chain lightnings and they can really tear down a base. In comes that level 23 RC from the left hand side of the base, going to start doing some nice cleanup work. Only a couple of E-Drags left up, only 2 actually. Another one going to go down over there on that right hand side. Single target Inferno at the top is looking a little bit ominous here, but he does still have a free spell that he's probably going to need to use as his RC makes her way up there. Down goes our final E-Drag in the middle. Down goes our Warden as well. Queen is lagging, shooting on a wall as she loves to do. I don't think this one has quite enough to push through the back end. That single target Inferno most certainly going to do some damage onto that RC when she gets in range. Yep, there we go. 1 freeze left. It is getting dropped down, but she goes down regardless. And this is going to be an OP defense coming in from Delinator on that first attack. Only a 71% 2-star. And the Boys and Brian fan club are going to be more than happy with that defense. Very nice. Okay, we should get this next attack coming in from Brian Fan Club. Let's see if they can kick things off with a triple. Hertha, Del, Zane, Russ, and Luke. Definitely one of their strongest lineups here. Let's see who they're going to be hitting and if they can bring in that triple to give them a nice early lead in this war. Zane going to be starting off here, coming in against their number 1 TDP with a P.E.K.K.A, Yeti, Witch, Bowler, Smash. A P-Ye-Wee-Bow, as I like to call it. Starting off with that Grand Warden from the top section of the base, just taking his time. As always with these style of attacks, you want to get that funnel created, and that's exactly what Zane's going to be doing at the top of the base. Already sacrificing a jump spell there, which is interesting. I thought potentially we could look at maybe bringing a couple of super wall breakers, but look at his army composition. There's not any super troops in here at all, which is very interesting indeed. Just going to allow that Grand Warden at the top to clean out that elixir storage one shot, and then he can probably start pulling that Warden over to the left hand side, which is exactly what he does right there. Siege Barracks going to come in alongside that King on the left hand section. Unfortunately, we see that single target Inferno locking onto our King. Needs to drop that ability, but he will go down. Could have been slightly earlier with that ability. Earthquakes are slightly off there for Zane. Doesn't open up this back end compartment, so maybe could have got a slightly more value from the Earthquakes in the middle of the base. Looks like there is a lot of ghosts in there, so already starting to lose quite a significant amount of troops through the center of the base, but the funnel not quite set. Maybe the Warden didn't do enough, and these healers are sticking on a couple of Yetis and that P.E.K.K.A at the top of the base. Nothing really pushed into the middle here. We did have a group of Hog Riders coming out that Siege Barracks, but it looks like the Queen went to town on them, forced to burn that free spell here on the back end just to try and keep that RC and the Queen alive. We dropped that Queen ability just to deal with that single target Inferno before it heats up onto our Queen. She unfortunately will be taken down right there by the scatter. Still got the RC ability to drop. It's going to go down right there. Deals with a couple of defenses. Has 1 free spell left up. Going to drop it down there on the scatter shot. Unfortunately misses the cannon. Maybe could have got slightly better value from that. Does Zane have enough here in the back end with that single target Inferno left up? I don't think, unfortunately, he will, but the percentage is still ticking over. It's climbing up slowly but surely. We surpassed the previous percent of the TD attack, but that, unfortunately, is only going to be a 2-star coming in there from Zane. The funnel, unfortunately, looks like it just wasn't quite created. We had a lot walking around the top section of the base. Not too much ended up actually going into the middles. His Hog Riders didn't get too much value, with the Queen slowly picking them off. And yeah, this is going to finish up a really high 90% 2-star here. Still got 1 wizard to drop as well, maybe to try and grab a couple more percent points. But yeah, not going to quite be able to catch that triple. Did he need the freeze and the scatter? I'm not sure. I think he probably would have, Pfizer. I think he probably would have needed it. Can I say that 5 times fast? Flux, say what? 5 times fast. 96% 2-star, the final outcome of this attack from Zane. A really nice effort, but unfortunately just falling short there. Okay, here we go. Next attack going to be coming in. We've got IU from TD Perseverance swinging in against Hertha, the OP German god. And we're going to be coming in here with a Blimp hybrid attack. Blimp does manage to sneak its way into that Town Hall compartment, takes it down, giving them that first star. Now bringing in that Queen charge from the right hand side of the base, taking our time here just to get things going. Poison spell did go down pretty early here for those headhunters, so we're going to have those super minion shots raining down fire on the Queen, who is taking a huge amount of damage. Oh, is she gonna... Oh, wow. Why did he not rage? Wow, okay. The Queen goes down and she only took down the clan castle troops. Why they didn't rage right there is beyond me. We're now going to have to start our hybrid from the top section of the base. Luckily, he had already grabbed that Town Hall with the Blimp, but this is really going to struggle here due to the fact that that Queen just got 0 value. Healers going to swing their way across. If we can get those healers at least transferring over, doing a little bit of healing onto these hogs, onto the miners, at least they won't be completely useless in this attack. Going to drop that Eternal Tome ability right there. The King finally goes down over on that left hand side after doing a nice job creating that funnel, allowing the hogs and the miners to push their way into the middle of the base. Rage spell is going to be used for the hybrid potion because, of course, we don't need them for the Queen charge as she went down almost just as soon as she was brought in. RC going to have a little bit more work to do over here on that left hand side. She does still have her ability in hand. You can see the hogs and the miners unfortunately did split up quite significantly. Still got that RC ability. No, sorry, the RC ability has already been dropped. And that single target Inferno should melt her down. Tesla farm popping up here for Hertha on the back end. How this attack has managed to get this far through the base is beyond me. The fact that that Queen got 0 value is just ridiculous. And then we just continue pushing and pushing with that hybrid through the base. A nice recovery coming in here from IU, but it is going to be a relatively low percent here, I think, on the back end. And it's going to be a nice defense again for Brian Fan Club. Starting this war off very strongly on defense. Just need to try and pull in some triples here on offense. Can they finish it off here with a beautiful 69%? They are unfortunately going to push it up there to a cheeky 70%. But a nice recovery considering that Queen got no value at the start there. 70% 2-star, the final outcome of that one. Let's jump out and see what the percent is looking like. 28.2% on the board right there. Only an average of 70% for TD Perseverance. Let's see what Brian Fan Club can bring in this next attack. Anyway, focusing back on this war, we've got Luke coming on through for this next attack, coming in with a hybrid. Now, I saw him coming in with a godly hybrid in the round of 32 for Alpha League, and he absolutely smashed the base. So let's see if he can continue this 3-star streak, coming in with hybrid on the number 5 from TD Perseverance. Going to be zapping and dropping that Earthquake down, dealing with that scatter shot nice and early on, also catching a couple other defenses, which is always nice to start off this attack. Couple of Tesla swing in, sorry, couple of Loons swing in for that Tesla on the left hand side. Queen does have a pretty clear funnel, I would say. Needs to be careful with that King stepping up onto her. Needs to get that Rage or a Headhunter in relatively soon. Couple of Clan Castle troops do get pulled out as well. Decides to freeze them up just to allow that Queen to push on through the enemy King before going in and dealing with them. A very delayed start though to this attack. Out come a couple more headhunters. He has to drop the Rage, but this is looking a little bit rough. He decides just to drop that Queen ability here, and this attack is got off to a pretty slow start here. The Eagle shot's also going to be shooting down on the healers. The super minions get a couple of shots off, so we do lose a healer or two there, but the Queen steps up. She's going to deal with that Town Hall. But any more Eagle shots on those healers and they are toast. Down goes the Town Hall, luckily for this Queen and for Luke. Now bringing in this hybrid from the right hand side. Can this Queen survive? We'll just need to wait and see. We don't have any more heal spells. We don't have her ability. She's going to go down on that left hand side, and she really didn't get the value that Luke was looking for. And it's now just up to the hybrid here on the back end. Going to drop that Eternal Tome ability right there. Going to last for a significant amount of time as they push through the bomb tower and that multi-target Inferno, which most certainly can do some damage onto these hybrid attacks. No spells left up though, which is pretty rough for the back end considering we've got a double Wizard Tower and that Eagle Artillery to try and get through. Hogs are though going to swing through for a little bit of backup from that siege barracks. Going to start cleaning out some of these structures, but the attack is starting to fade out. We need something to get out in front of this single target Inferno to tank for our RC, but they don't. Oh, the RC does get targeted. Can they take it down quickly enough? Yes, they can. Luke may just have enough to push on through. He brings in a minion for the clan castle in the middle. His RC, unfortunately, looks like she will be taken down there to the Tesla, and the cannon catches the tornado trap in the middle. That's not going to cause too many issues. He's got two sneakies here on the back end that's going to help him through, but this is going to be a triple coming in from Brian Fan Club. They came painfully close with that first hit, but Luke turning things around, even with that queen not getting the value he was looking for. It is a triple on the board, and that now gives them a nice 1-star advantage after 2 attacks from either side. Also going to be sitting pretty on percentage as well. Okay, dokie, here we go. Next attack going to be coming in from TD Perseverance. Can they get that triple that they are desperately looking for now on the board? Percentage is already really against them here, so they're going to need to bring this one in. Coming in with a drag bat attack, starting off zapping and earthquaking down this multi-target Inferno at the bottom section of the base, bringing in that Seeking Shield ability incredibly early. Not sure it was needed quite that quickly, if I'm honest. That was only a multi-target Inferno, wouldn't have done too much damage onto the RC. But regardless, she is going to make her way in, grabs a couple more defenses. Baby Dragon comes in, unfortunately, just in the radius of that Expo. Queen now coming in from this left-hand side for the number 5 here. Can Luke get an OP defense after that godly hit that just came in? Alright, it looks like they are just going to let their queen... I don't know. I'm not really sure what that queen was used for. Anyway, Dragon's now going to be coming in from this bottom right-hand section of the base. They are already starting to split up quite significantly. In fact, none of them end that rage spell. In comes our blimp right there, deciding to rage over here on this left-hand side of the base. Out come those clan castle troops. No poison spell for them, so those archers are going to hold up these dragons for a little bit. We can see that blimp catches 3 Seeking Air Mines, but unfortunately, the Eternal Tome ability did just last long enough, so the Town Hall will go down right there, giving them that 2nd star on the board. Now bringing in a Bat Bomb from this left-hand side of the base. That's going to be swinging on through 2 free spells to try and push these bats right on through this back end of the base. Needs to make sure we get this free spell down on the Wizard Tower in plenty time. Down it goes right there. Does need to drop another one, not taking any risks on this base. No splash damage left up, but he has not taken down the army of archers that were in the clan castle. Is that going to come back to bite him? They are slowly chipping away. Bat after bat is going down. No dragons left up on the base. Our last hope is these bats, and I don't think they're going to have quite enough to push through the back end. There's still a decent chunk of bats on this base, but look at the amount of archers that we have up. They are really going to start sniping off these bats. Look at them, one after the other going down, and this is going to be another defense on the board for Brian Fan Club. A nice effort coming in on this attack. Not too sure really what the queen was used for. Kind of just threw her in on this left-hand side. Didn't get the value they were looking for, and that is the 3rd defense in a row for Brian Fan Club, looking incredibly strong. I can only imagine how much time they've put into testing these bases, and that's a really strong defense right there. Here we go. Hertha actually going to be coming in with this next attack, and he comes in with a Lalo. Now, Hertha is pretty famous for his Lalos, especially that Lalo bat attack that he used against alternate attacks. That goal was very famous, got shared all around the Clash community. So let's see what he's going to be bringing in right here. Drops that invis spell first, then drops in the rage. A giant bomb did go off. He is making sure he gets those invisibility spells down in time. Down goes another one right there. Unfortunately, they do step out of range of the... Oh, unfortunately, they step out of range of that rage, which means they don't quite get the value that Hertha was looking for. Obviously wanted to try and catch the Eagle Artillery in the middle, but so difficult to tell where these Super Wizards are going to path because they do so much damage when they get those chains off. But They stepped out of that rage fill, which means they didn't quite get as much value as Hertha was looking for, but he's now going to be bringing in this Sui from the bottom section of the base. Double super wall breaker going to be used to open up that compartment right there. Queen unfortunately does get targeted somehow, some way by that Expo, so she is going to have to burn her ability probably a lot earlier than Hertha was looking for. Down goes the poison spell. We get that Queen ability off right there. Could really do with pushing in and grabbing a couple more of these defenses, but we lure the clan castle. We've got that Seeking Shield ability from the RC, but we don't even get the multi, and this is a really rough attack coming in here from Hertha. The Sui did not get the value we wanted. The Super Wizards didn't really get the value we wanted. And this Lalo has got a huge amount of work to do. The Eagle Artillery, the Scatter, the 2 multis and the single all still up here, and Hertha right now I think just needs to try and play it safe, go for that 2-star on the board, drops down the Earthquake to activate the Town Hall, then brings in the free spell to make sure it gets taken down, drops that Eternal Tome ability. Of course, as soon as he does that, he catches that Tornado Trap. Second portion of the Lalo now going to be swinging in from that top of the base, only has a couple of spells left up, does have to burn a free spell on that Scatter Shot in the middle of the base. He's not going to drop another freeze. Yes, he is. Maybe slightly too late there. We only get a couple of balloons actually pathing their way onto the Scatter. They do take it down, but there's just not enough left up here on the back end to take this base down for Hertha. A really nice attempt though. Sui unfortunately not getting the value. Difficult to predict with those super minions as well, exactly where they're going to path. And without taking down the Eagle Artillery, it can just continue to rain down shot after shot on the Lalo that came in from this left hand side. 72% 2-star, the final outcome of this one from Hertha, which unfortunately does pull that average percent down ever so slightly for the boys in Brian Fan Club, but they are still up by 1 star. 7-6 is the current score. Russ is under attack. Their number 3 coming on through with a Zap Lalo. We've got 7 Zap cells coming in here, no Earthquake. Pick that up. In come those Zap spells at the top of the base, deciding just to take down that Queen. Really? They just committed 7 Zap spells to only take down 2 structures in the Queen? One of those structures being an Inferno Tower. But we didn't even get the Sweeper. Alright, if they think that's what's needed on this attack, then who am I to judge? But we bring in our RC, who straight away meets a bunch of skeletons from the bottom section of the base. She gets taken down by the single target Inferno. Now going to be bringing in an Ice Golem, a Wall Wrecker, and our King from this bottom section of the base. Going to open up that compartment right there. That is going to allow the Wall Wrecker to make its way in towards the Town Hall compartment. It's going to burst. We get the poison spell down. Looks like we do have a triple Ice Golem coming on through, but the Queen was brought in far too early, and she is already getting targeted by these Clan Castle troops, so her ability is already gone. Ice Golem's going to continue to freeze things up over here on the left-hand side, but the Expo does lock onto that Queen, and she goes down. King is going to continue trying to just snipe off a couple more structures, but he's not going to be able to reach over these walls. He is going to get stalled up right there at the start of this attack. In comes the Lalo now for the number 3 from TD Perseverance from this bottom section of the base. You can see a nice combination of Ice Hounds and the regular Lava Hounds going to be coming on through for this attack. Eternal Tome ability getting used at the bottom section of the base. We need something to path here onto that Scatter Shot that is just doing so much damage onto our troops. Finally, we get a pack of balloons going onto it. They take it down, does take a couple of shots. Icehound freezing up there on the back end. We catch the Tornado Trap, which is going to slow down the balloon pathing onto the back end of this attack. Beautiful free spell placement right there. Going to freeze up the Wizard, Air Defense, and Scatter Shot again. Drops another free spell down. Does he have enough though to push through the back end? Seeking Airmine takes down a balloon. Scatter Shot is going to go to town on these loons. Down goes the Eagle Artillery, but I don't think he's got enough here, and it is going to be a 4th defense on the board for Brian Fan Club. A really nice attempt on this base, but committing 7 spells just to take down the Queen and an Inferno Tower. I'm not sure if that was worth it, but we are going to continue pushing up a little bit here in percent. We've got a couple of minions, lava pups, just sweeping around the outside of the base, picking off as many structures as they can. Warden is not going to last too much longer in the middle of the base, especially with that Scatter Shot shooting down on him. So it looks like we might just sneak into the 80%. Yeah, we're going to just grab up into the 80%, which is one of the strongest attacks we've seen from TD Perseverance, but they cannot quite crack these bases from Brian Fan Club. Looking very, very strong on defense right now. Here we go. In he comes. Hitting base number 4, and it is of course Super Witch. He's coming in as to be expected from him. He is a 3-star machine. I've seen so many triples coming in from him. He's been absolutely dominating in Alpha League, so let's see if he can continue on this reign of destruction. In come those zap spells, drops down the earthquake as well, getting some really nice value there from them, cleaning out this left hand compartment. Warden of course going to be used to create that funnel for these Super Witches. Pekka now going to come in from that siege barracks at the top section of the base, using that to clean out everything up there. Now bringing in a couple of Super Wall Breakers. Actually drops in a Coco Loon right there, which does tank that single target Inferno and a couple of the defenses. Allows that Super Wall Breaker to open up that compartment. King and Pekka going to do a great job cleaning that funnel at the top of the base. This Queen should loop around and hopefully go into the base here. She unfortunately might just walk. It depends if this King can clean out this elixir storage. Queen gets locked onto by that Headhunter, so we lose that Queen ability incredibly early here. Needs to be careful on that Eternal Tome. He is going to save the Eternal Tome. Wow. Okay. So if he tomed right there, he would have saved his Queen, he would have saved a couple of those big boys, he would have saved a few other troops as well, but he's going to try and save it here for the back end. Single target Inferno now starting to heat up. We've got the Hog Riders and the RC swinging in from the back end. No spells left up on this base. Finally, we drop that Eternal Tome in the middle of the base, dropping that RC ability as well. If we can get her to take down this scatter shot, we should be looking relatively good. Timing though potentially could be an issue. We start our cleanup already from the right hand side. We've got a Wizard doing some nice work over there. RC still clutching up, takes down the Eagle Artillery as well. Tesla Farm over here on that left hand side starting to do some work onto our Super Witches. We need these healers to transfer over. They don't, so we lose another Super Witch right there. Nothing cleaning up this right hand side of the base, and it is going to be a big timing issue. We've got one big boy on his own pushing off to that right hand side, who does have a relatively decent amount of health on him, so we'll see how far he can make it over there. Unfortunately, that Grand Warden does path out in front of the Super Witches, so he is going to go down. 53 seconds to try and get as much percent on this base as we can. Is he going to have enough here to bring in that triple? The Wizard Tower getting tanked for by this big boy. We need this Wizard to step up. Super Witches continuing to push around this left-hand side of the base. Time is the big factor here, but he's only got 7% to grab, and I most certainly think he's got it. Dell brings in yet another triple on the board for the Brian Fan Club team. Dell, God, what a hit coming in from him. He saving that Grand Warden ability for later on in the attack. Worked out really well for him here. Who am I to tell him how to do an attack when he brings in that godly triple? Very nicely done, and that gives Brian Fan Club now a 2-star lead after 4 attacks from either side. Very, very nice. And remember, we've got another war after this. This is best of 2. So TD Perseverance most certainly could bring this back if Brian Fan Club have a bit of a meltdown in the second war. Here we go. Final attack for TD Perseverance in this first war. Coming in with a Zap Icy Lalo. Alright, dropping down those zap spells in the middle of the base. In comes that Earthquake as well, trying to get maximum value from those spells. Takes down the Queen and the Eagle Artillery. Not too shabby on the value right there. Couple of sneakies make their way in. Giant going to be tanking for this RC. She comes in from that left hand side. Ice Golem goes out in front of the Queen just to make sure she doesn't take too much damage too early on in this attack. In comes that invisibility spell to keep our RC alive at the bottom of this base, dropping her ability right there, trying to get as much value as possible. Should be able to step up. Does deal with that multi-target Inferno. She's not going to last too much longer though. Gets sniped down by the Expo, Tesla, King and Scattershot that are lurking over there on that right hand side. Ice Golem going to continue pathing out in front of our Queen here. Should freeze everything up right about there. Allow this Queen to push in just slightly further. That Scattershot is looking pretty tasty. The Queen will not be able to range it unless she loops around this wall section, but the King is going to make his way in and should tank here for that Queen, dropping the Queen ability. Of course, as you drop that Queen ability, inevitably you are going to hit a giant bomb, but the Scattershot will go down right there. And let's see how much more value this Sui can get. King still has his ability and he is tanking for this single target Inferno. Lalo now going to be starting, I would assume, from the bottom section of the base. Queen is still up. She's going to deal with that wizard tower at the top. How long is this Sui lasting? That is insane how long that Queen stayed up for. A godly Sui coming in here from TDP. We've got the Stone Slammer swinging on through from the bottom section of the base, tanking for this scatter shot, just trying to take it down so we can bring in our Lalo. Clan Castle troops are now coming out. The poison goes down, decides to not freeze them up. He is just going to leave them in the poison spell for as long as we possibly can. Gets incredibly lucky there. The death damage from those balloons take down the scatter shots, and we now bring in our Lalo from this right hand section of the base. Of course, going to be targeting straight in towards that town hall. Needs to be very wary here of his time. Drops that Eternal Tome ability, but the town hall seems to be taking a little while to go down. Oh, the Giga Bomb catches those balloons. The Warden was ever so slightly too early, and we lose a good amount of balloons down there over that town hall, but he still has plenty of balloons left up on this base. The Icehound freezing everything up there at the top. They're also going to snipe off that air defense with those Icy Pups. Freeze spell goes down. Is he going to have enough here to clean up the back end of this base? It was a godly Sui, so his Lalo really didn't have too much to do to get through the back end of this base. 20 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be incredibly close if he can snipe this one off. Balloons are going to path over to the mortar first. We've got the Warden up. We've got a dragon at the bottom that is not even going to make it to these top buildings. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. I think they're going to have it. Those minions get hasted on through. They are just going to sneak it here at the final second. 1 second left on the clock, and they bring in that triple, which does bring them 1 star closer to catching up with Brian Fan Club. But remember, we still have Russ God to come in on this final attack. A 3-star from him would give them a really nice 2-star lead going into the second war of this best of 2. So let's see what he's going to come in with and if he can bring in that triple. Here we go. He is in against the number 3. Coming in with a Queen Charge Hog Rider attack. Alright. Only 1 Miner coming on through here for Russell. I wonder. He's got the Wall Wrecker selected. He's going to be bringing in that Queen Charge from the opposite Town Hall side. This could be a risky play coming in here for Russ, but let's see how far he's going to push through this base. Queen now coming in with those healers, of course, in behind her, keeping her alive for as long as possible. Balloon now going to be swinging on through, testing for any of those seeking air mines. Needs to get on the rage spell sooner rather than later. There it is, coming on through. Does get a relatively early Clan Castle pull with the... Not sure he needed to burn that free spell right there. He also expected super minions to come out of that Clan Castle, so he maybe panic dropped the poison and the freeze, but maybe just swagging 2 spells that he didn't particularly need to drop right there. But if I know Russ, he's going to have a game plan here, and he would have planned to use both of those spells anyway, no matter what came out of the Clan Castle. So going to continue pushing on through here. Queen should be able to get a significant amount of value as they make their way through this left hand side of the base. In comes that rage spell, in comes that super wall breaker, which, oh no, it doesn't open up that second compartment. Can this other one do it? Yes, it can. It just opens up that wall section incredibly close. The Grand Warden statue slightly delayed, but the Queen, oh no! He has to freeze up right there. He misses the scatter shot, and this is a pretty rough Queen Charge coming in here from Russ. He needs to keep an eye on that clock as well. Only grabbed 24%, and we're nearly halfway into this attack. Rage Spell is going to allow that Queen to make her way through the enemy king, although she is taking an absolute beating. The scatter shot continuing to rain down on her. She no longer has her ability, and she is going to go down there to that scatter shot. No way she is surviving. Really could have done with the scatter shot going down there on that left-hand side. He brings in the Wall Wrecker, which I thought for a second hadn't made it into the Town Hall, but it does. So that is going to secure the 2-star on the board here for Russ, which does keep Brian Fan Club. I think it's only going to be 1 star ahead of them. But looking pretty good here. The Hog's going to continue pushing through the back end. If that scatter shot had gone down, this would have been a triple all day. No doubt in my mind this would have tripled. It was a beautiful hit coming in from Russ. But if we'd have that free spell that we didn't need to burn on the headhunters, we could have dropped it on the scatter, we could have kept that Queen alive, but not all hope is lost. I think he might still have this. He still has that RC ability in hand. The Hogs are starting to fade out, but it all depends on how much value this RC can get on the back end, and where are our cleanup troops? They're nowhere to be seen. They are nowhere to be seen. It's going to be a time fail regardless. That queen, the RC ability, going to be dropped right there. She is going to try and pick up as much as she possibly can. It's a great effort coming in here from Russ, but he just doesn't have any cleanup troops. There is nothing coming on through. We've got one Barbarian at the top. We've got one Balloon and a Wizard on the map. Going to try and pick up as much percent as he can, but 10 seconds to grab a couple of storages and these buildings on the right is just not going to be enough. A great effort from Russ, and it does push their percent up even higher. Very nicely done. 95% 2-star. The final outcome. And just think, if that queen hadn't gone down, how easy that triple would have been. Very nicely done though, very nicely done. Alright, so there are the stars and the percentage after that first war.